Yeah.
We could do some general introductions here. So my name is Andrew Jensen, SVP of Product at UserTesting. And so I manage our product management, product operations, and data science teams. And work very closely with Rally and happy to be able to join a conversation here with Oren.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Nice to see you all. Thank you for coming during your break. I am Oren, one of the co-founders and CEO at Rally, and we are a research operations platform. We'll go into a lot more detail about what that means, but essentially we help teams automate and streamline participant management and recruitment so you can do research with your own actual customers. So we'll talk more about what that means in the context of user testing as well, and our partnership and relationship to date. But I wanted to kick it off with a question to Andrew as the SVP of Product at UserTesting, having been both at UserZoom and UserTesting for the last 8 years now, I believe.
Yeah.
Would love to hear more about your journey in building a research-centric culture, customer-centric culture, and how it's evolved over time.
Yeah, no, just to quickly summarize, so at UserTesting, no surprise that we try to practice what we preach in terms of really being user-centric and getting our customer perspective into our product lifecycle and really driving and validating decisions across every part of that product lifecycle. So whether it's the roadmap, actually starting with the product strategy, roadmap validation, and then going into, once we're executing, into the design iteration, product scope of what we can fit into our releases and so on. And so, it's our goal really to be a case study, so we can talk to our customers that we're really kind of leading the way and showing a good example of being user centric. And so it's been evolving over time, and I think the really where we hit a good progression point was when the merger of UserZoom and UserTesting. So all of a sudden we had just more people on the team focused on UX, more researchers, more designers, and the product teams were bigger. But it was interesting because UserZoom had a history of really being traditional research, where the researchers were really the ones that were doing all the insights generation, all the research. And so anything that the product or design teams or even the executive teams wanted to get validation, they went to the research team. Where user testing was completely the opposite, where there was no concept of research in the product team. It was really more about democratization, empowerment of designers, really make sure you're going out to talking to your customers, product managers doing the same. And there's really benefits of doing both ways. So we had the advantage of kind of coming together and being to where we are today, where we're really to scale up, preserving our researchers for the important strategic decisions about like our roadmap validation, our product strategy, doing what researchers are really good at of kind of scientific methods of max diff and these more foundational practices of making sure we're getting significance for our decisions. But then our design teams really deploying the fast feedback, and when they're just kind of interactions and making sure they're talking to their customers. So the net is that we really scaled up, but then we got to the point where we really needed a lot more engagement from our customers, and that really became a pretty big challenge because it's the scale of research that we were doing was just becoming more of the challenge of kind of keeping up with the demand of what our organization needed.
Yeah. Well, I first say I love that you guys practice what you preach, because that's important. And it's super interesting to hear about kind of the merging of these two different, not only companies, but cultures and approaches to research and democratization from UserTesting and UserZoom.
Right.
So curious to hear a little bit more about some of the challenges that you all faced as you were pushing to connect with more users and bring their voice into the product development cycle.
Yeah, just to really quickly summarize, I mean, the first thing was really just the consistency and processes across our team. So we started to invest more heavily in product operations, research operations, just making sure that, as we have bigger teams, it's hard to make sure everybody's doing things consistently. So there was a really good investment there. The second bigger challenge, which I alluded to before, was just the fact that we didn't really have a structured way of, we've been using, just like a lot of our customers, our user testing networks, which is a great, 75% of the engagement that we need from customers and just, people in the industry we can bring in through our networks, kind of creating a, more of a B2B panel as well. But really, we really need to kind of just drive and have a good way for our customers. And we have very passionate customers. They're UXers, they're researchers. They love to give our product teams feedback, but we didn't really have a structured way to do that. So it was really creating these really poor experiences for our customers of just like, we didn't have a good way for them to like onboard into our panel. We didn't have good visibility into like the breadth of our panel. So we kept hitting the same people over and over again. And they started annoying, our customers who wanted to give feedback, but just like it was too much. We just kind of scale back a little bit. They were opting out. So the loyalty to our panel was really kind of decreasing overall. We was having a hard time managing our incentives of, if we were like, paying through, like Amazon gift cards or things like that. So that was really kind of the key challenges that we started to face, and we're looking for ways to overcome.
Yeah. The growth challenges that come with trying to talk to more of your users. Something that sounds simple to do, but it's actually quite complex, as I'm sure you all know in action. So curious to hear a little bit more about how you tried solving this problem before we entered the picture.
Yeah. So, the spoiler alert, we had to start using Rally, but we didn't do that first. I think a lot of our customers, we have a lot of disparate systems where we had Salesforce and like spreadsheets and, ways in Salesforce to have ways for our like web forms where people can come in, opt into the type of research that they wanted to get involved with, and then like Monday boards and just all these different solutions. But what we quickly found is that there was all of these efforts from our research ops to maintain these systems was not paying off in any really more efficiencies. It was just a lot of work, but we weren't really kind of seeing the increase in the efficiencies of our research operations and the way the customer experiences that we were providing to our customers. So that was the bigger challenge so then, we really started to, like a lot of our customers, we started seeing that as we started last year at our Human Insights conference in Seattle, started to evolve our partnership and seeing the successes of what our customers were using with Rally, and started to really investigate and implement the same overall. Yeah.
And it's fun fact, 1 year ago since we launched the program that we'll be talking about today at the conference in Seattle last year. So we'll talk more about the outcomes and results. But first, I'll give you a little bit of an overview onto what the Rally platform does. As a research operations platform, Rally is a participant CRM to our core. So what that means is we have a highly flexible, scalable participant database where companies like UserTesting can store hundreds, thousands, up to millions if you're lucky enough to have that many willing participants, and organize them based on whatever data you have, funneling data from Snowflake and Salesforce, which UserTesting leverage both of those integrations to keep your participant panel and data fresh, with a layer of governance and security and guardrails, because we all know how precious these user profiles are, and we want to keep them under lock and key, make sure only the right people in the organization have access to them and have access to PII and whatever other information is important. The layer on top of that is the entire recruitment process. So when it's one thing to have your database in one place, it's another thing to be able to easily contact them with the right messaging to the right place, screen them, schedule them, get consent, send them to the tools that you need to do research with. So send them to UserTesting to actually complete the study, and then close the loop with incentives in Rally, and then integrate with the rest of the tools in your stack. So it's been a pleasure working with UserTesting to design and build Rally for their needs and all your needs over the last couple of years. And
exactly that. I mean, I think all the things that you just mentioned, we really started to put into practice. So just from our customer experience, we had a really good way for our customers to onboard into our panel. So actually, we have you probably seen on some of the barcodes and QR codes, and also at the product booth where you can kind of opt into our customer experience panel. So that's actually through Rally, and you basically have the ability to go in to do that. And then it gives you the option to, number one, kind of select the type of research that you want to take part in. And so be selective on certain areas of the product or areas that you're passionate about, or integrations or AI. And then we have the ability, our teams internally, to really target when we're kind of scaling up the research across our different product groups. That our teams can easily go into Rally and see that, okay, we need some quick feedback on this particular design or this prototype. We can engage and go out, and provides a lot better experience for both our product teams and also our customers. Very easy way to optimize the incentives. We have an integration that we built. We are going to be improving it, but just at the integration today, we can see when invitations are sent out through email through Rally. We can see that our customers who have seen it, who have clicked on the email, who actually are engaging, who are taking the test. Same thing with our moderated capabilities or workflow to schedule calendars so that you can actually coordinate to make sure that when you're setting up and actually doing a moderated session, that everything gets coordinated well for the moderator and the participant. So yeah, it's been really great, and we're seeing a lot of great efficiencies from over the past year in doing that.
Yeah, I'm curious. Has anyone here signed up for the experience research panel? Got one person there. Have you participated in anything yet? Okay, well, we'll make sure it happens.
Yeah. Stop by at the booth. We'll definitely share more. But no, I'm curious to know, I guess, in terms of maybe actually on one of the next slides here, that is the experience research program for this QR code.
So if you do want to quickly scan that, join the program.
But as you're doing that, there's really looking at that past workflow that we talked about of all those just manual. You probably see that a lot. A lot of your customers are dealing with of just like a lot of the different solutions that we really netted out to two key solutions. And we go to the next slide here of just we're able to build the study in user testing, launch it in Rally, recruit our customers, capture the data, the feedback, and then just do all the things that in Rally that you can do, incentivize, track engagement, and ensure coverage. So just curious, from your perspective, are you seeing similar use cases or things that your other customers are doing with user testing or other solutions out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the end of the day, a lot of our customers, probably a lot of folks like yourselves, have an equal and very important need to connect with both non-customers, through a panel like user testing, and then your own verified actual customers to get that type of feedback when that type of study arises. But you don't want to be locked when you're recruiting your own customers to one specific methodology. You want to be able to send them to user testing. You want to be able to talk to them on Zoom, whatever your organization and team needs. And that's why we're very complementary together, enabling you to conduct research with your own actual user base, but then seamlessly keep track of them, and in the end of the day, enable designers, PMs, others with the right guardrails and governance and templates in place to access the right tooling and get the insights they need from their own customers, which, as we all know, is very tricky, very difficult to manage, hard to sometimes even get approval from other teams in order to actually even contact them. So leveraging something like Rally in conjunction with user testing gives our customers the confidence to be able to know that they're reaching out to their users safely, that it's approved by their marketing colleagues because it has the right branding and the right templates. It's approved by customer success if you have that dynamic in your organization, because the information is flowing back to Salesforce and where they operate. So really just trying to elevate the research practice, make it easier for teams to connect with their users.
That's great. Yeah.
And I guess passing it back to you.
I'd love to just share some of our success just in those use cases that you're talking about and what we're able to deploy. So just over the past year, we're able to onboard 550 customers. I think after this week, we'll probably see an uptick in those numbers. Over 400 accounts that we're working with. And then so the most important thing is that it was really, we were going over to like 1 week, 2 weeks for us to fill studies, and not for just, the creation or the alignment around the testing, but the actual just the recruitment time and kind of coordinating with our customers. And that was really slowing down our product decisions and really having a hard time to keep up with like our agile needs within our product teams. But really getting this down to the 2.4 days. That's something that all of our teams, our research ops teams and all of our teams are super proud of. We got up to 104% to over 100% fill rate, which is pretty amazing. And just the scale of interviews and unmoderated tests. And I think the big thing is just the customer satisfaction of this email open rate. When we're able to better target the testing with like our customers and the actual feedback that they want to give, really improve the open rate and the engagement and just like their ability to kind of engage with the content they wanted to overall.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear. And I'm sure many of you have this similar dynamic of it takes weeks to recruit the right customers, and we don't want recruitment timelines to be the bottleneck for research, because there's so many other things that you're dealing with, so many other things on your plate, and to have recruitment, which is the first step of the process really when you're actually starting research, to take that long, it just hamstrings the rest of the process, and doesn't do anyone any favors really. So being able to cut that down to days, not hours sometimes, can really just help you all deliver faster insights to your stakeholders and drive that user-centric culture.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I guess to finish it out, it'd be good. I don't know if you have any interesting roadmap items that we can expect, or just everybody can expect coming from Rally.
Yeah, absolutely. So working closely with your teams on this actually, but our big new release coming out in the coming weeks is all focused on enabling larger and larger teams to democratize research, keywords safely and at scale. So when I say safely, I mean we're introducing access controls. So the ability to create multiple teams within your environment who have access to different subsegments of your audiences, so that if you're at a large organization with multiple populations of participants, only people who should have access to a certain group of users can reach out to them. And it's not the Wild West or open to everyone to reach out to whoever they want. We're putting strong guardrails and governance in place to ensure, again, when you give the keys to the designers, to PMs, that they can only do the things that you as the research leaders and admins want them to do and should enable them to do. So we're excited to keep on solving some of these nitty-gritty problems with recruitment and participant management for larger teams, and to keep on deepening our partnership with user testing. And feel free to come by the booth and see the product in action and learn more about it. And of course, sign up for the Experience Research program.
Yeah.
And yes, last thing to show you as well, some of our success stories with our customers. So, by cutting down all the time and effort it takes to recruit participants up front, you can increase research throughput. You can decrease the cost per participant. We all know that with research, it's hard sometimes to demonstrate the value and the impact and connect it to the bottom line. And we work closely with our customers to help you build the business case of how to actually demonstrate the value of what does it mean to save 2 weeks of recruitment time for your boss's boss's boss. Like, why should they care? Why should they take the time to learn about this and, in the end of the day, sign the contract for something like this? So we're always thinking about how we can help you drive business impact, because that's, of course, what matters in the end of the day, a lot of organizations. So
yeah, thanks.
That's about it.
Yeah, we just wanted to say, stop by at the Parker Pavilion. Thanks a lot for your time and appreciate it. And one final note is we also, in our beta programs that you heard Michelle Engel, our Chief Product Officer, talk about, also is available through the Customer Experience Research program. So if you want to beta any of our Insights Hubs or QX Score, or just like, AI capabilities that are out there, this is a way to do it as well. So thanks, Oren. I appreciate the time, and thank you all for your time as well.
Pleasure.